Welcome to Will It Work? I'm Kevin. Today we're looking at the NES Classic Edition. This is the one that officially came from Nintendo, and everybody and their brother went out and tried to buy one and then resell them for 10 times what they were worth on eBay. And Nintendo basically only sold, I don't know, so many of them, and then they took it off the market, and they eventually released the Super NES version, as well as in Japan they released the Famicom and Super Famicom, and that was also for a limited release. But this one was the one that started it, and I've heard mixed things. Right, people don't hate this one or anything like that. A lot of these people bought, and then they were like, they played the games on them, but they immediately went out and tried to modify them, right? They wanted to put their own ROMs on them and everything. That just seems like there's groups of people out there that like constantly buy clone systems. I see these guys on YouTube all the time. They've got like 12 different clone systems. They're not collectors like me, and I don't know if you can really collect all the clones. I mean, there's so many clone systems, right? But I just don't think a lot of those guys are actually playing the games. They kind of, it's kind of like collecting pirated discs or something. They have these clone systems. They want to show their friends, like, look at this. I got this handheld. It's got like 4,000 games on it. And their friends are like, wow. And it's like, yeah, you can play all these old games. But no one is actually sitting at home turning that thing on and playing those games. They're just like looking to see if they can do it. You know what I mean? So like, hey, I got the NES Classic Edition. I modified it, and now it can play 5,000 games. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. But then they never actually play any of those games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I know that there's some people out there that do, but I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people that are into the whole, like, conversion and modding and things and getting it to do something are more, like, happy and impressed that they got it to work, and, you know, they have all these options, but to actually sit and play the games, they don't spend a lot of time doing that. They're just on to the next thing. Like, okay, I hacked this one. Now let's go hack the Super NES. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it never ends. But anyway, this has never been opened. However, it's not sealed. So we will open it up and we will try it out. Because there's no sticker on here. They didn't seal it when they sold it to me. So... And the box is a little crushed on the one side anyway, so we might as well make sure it works, because that's the point of the show. Okay. We've got a manual or a poster, it looks like. Let's see if that's a poster. Now, you might have watched somebody else open one of these, or you might own one or something, and you might have already experienced what's in these things, because this has been out for quite a while. But it's my first time, and if you haven't seen it, well, then we're looking at it together for the first time. So, we have that. Although I've seen many pictures of it, and people talking about it in broad terms, I didn't see an unboxing of it exactly. Okay, so it does come with a poster. We have the little unit. Unit is here. Looks like a little baby NES. It's kind of cool. You know, it's got the two ports right there. Not original, of course, but you know, branded power and reset. No actual cartridge port. We have HDMI out and DC in. No SD card slot, even for saves or anything, so I guess that's to be expected. We've got the one controller. Only comes with one controller, huh? Would have been nice if it came with two. I really think if you're going to get any kind of longevity out of most of these games, it's going to be the ones that are multiplayer, or the RPGs, of course. With power adapter. Actually, this is a micro USB. We're not even going to use that because I've got one already plugged in. And there's probably an HDMI cable on the bottom there too. We don't need that. So let's put this back here. Don't need that right now. And we'll wire it in with the traditional micro DC in. And we'll drive an HDMI out into the encoder. Alright, so I'm going to switch over to the video side and let's see what sort of selection of games we have and how they play. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing it's going to do here on the Nintendo emulator, I will say this controller does look exactly like a original Nintendo controller. I don't know, looks like it was made in Germany. That's interesting. I don't know if it actually is one. I doubt it. I mean, I know that the connector is into the wire, but I mean, I don't know if this came from the original molds. I don't think so. But it does look really good. So we're going to do English. Alright, and see what we got here. I like how it starts right up with 2-player. Like, it's like, this is a 2-player game. Guess what? You can't play it, though, unless you buy another controller for your NES Classic Edition. It's like, maybe they sold one that did come with 2 controllers in it, you know? I'm not aware of that, but, Bobble. I used to like Bobble in the arcade. I was terrible at it, like most things, unless I practice a lot. But let's take a look at it. I just thought it was cool because you could pick up all these like power-ups and things. It's one of those games, though, I never played on at home because I didn't own an NES originally. Fruit. Who doesn't like fruit? Ah. What the F? Ah, bullshit. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Like, Bobble. Maybe this is different than I recall. I just remember there were these power-ups and things you could get, but I'm not seeing them unless it's this. Nah. Anyway, let's see if we can get back to the main screen. Just hit reset, I suppose. Yeah. That's good that it didn't ask me what language I wanted again. So we've got Castlevania, very cool. Simon's Quest. Donkey Kong Jr. Was it Double Dragon 2? Dr. Mario, Excite Bike, Final Fantasy. Original Final Fantasy? That's interesting. Galaga. Ghosts and Goblins, Radius, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, Kirby, the original Mario Brothers, Mega Man 2. I always see Mega Man 2. I don't know what the story is, why I don't see a lot of Mega Man 1. They even make like little home systems that are Mega Man 2. Maybe Mega Man 1 sucks and Mega Man 2 is like the good one. I don't know. I do see a lot of Mega Man 2. Pac-Man, Punch-Out. Star Tropics, that's interesting. Can't quite read what that says. But like Super Contra. It says Super C or something. Mario Brothers. Oh, actually it says at the top Super C. I think it's like Super Contra. Super Mario 2, 3, Tecmo Bowl, Zelda, Link. Very cool. So I mean that's a nice selection. of games, and you can just resume where you were. Let's look at Ghosts and Goblins. Oh. I pushed the wrong one. Let's look at the original Final Fantasy. How about that? I probably played this at one time. Yeah, this looks familiar. All these games are the same. You gotta go talk to the king in the beginning. And tell you what happened. Somebody's gonna great evil and the princess has been taken. Yep. Kidnap the princess. Please help her. Okay. Go do that. I wonder who the first person was that did this. Was it Lord British in Ultima? Was he the first guy that created these sort of top-down dungeon crawlers? I'm not sure if it was him or not. I mean, there were other games that were like D&D-esque, but this type of thing, I don't know. Did it start with Lord British? I don't have any spells. Bullshit. Just that music. It's like one note. Deep, 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 deep. So old. And it's like I don't have what it is like for people that like want to go back and play like these old ones like this, because yeah, they're historic and everything, but like there's so many better ones that, you know, we've come so far. There's so many good ones that are out now that are like better graphics and better mechanics and everything. And it's like I don't feel the need to like go and play these like really old ones. Maybe the PlayStation ones would be okay, like Final Fantasy VII or something, but maybe. I just don't feel it. Or fast switch games are a little different because, you know, they're not going to take you 60 hours to play. Plus the storylines on these 8-bit ones are just so simple. They didn't spend a lot of time on like dialogue or anything. You just kind of adventure and move forward. I was terrible at this in the arcade. This is another one of those games where you just have to like know the pattern. But I just wasn't good at it. I don't know why exactly this game is so difficult to emulate. The side-scrolling of it. Like, most of these systems do a pretty good job of side-scrolling. Most of these games are side-scrollers, but for some reason, Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, all that kind of stuff, like, with these 8-bit systems, they just don't flow as well as the arcade edition did. Now, I know, like, the NES had limitations in terms of, like, what it could do with its sprites, like how many colors could be on each one of the sprites. I think it was like 4 colors max or something. So it's like I have a peach face, a brown beard, a red belt, and a silver suit, right? And that's kind of like all you could get. And I think you could do a trick though where you could like lay one sprite on top of another to double it, but you would get like some flickering or something like that. And then like the background, you know, is made up of tiles and such, but how the fuck do you kill this guy? Yeah, this game's just hard. But they're memory intensive, right? And so you can't get like a full background, something like that. But it's not. I'm not knocking it. All these systems had stuff like that. Like the 7800, you could have like a bazillion sprites on the screen to do things like Robotron and stuff. But then it didn't have enough memory to do like the backgrounds right. So a lot of times you had to they had to do tricks where they wouldn't show you the whole screen, or they would just have an object in the background of a night sky or something. And then, there's other games that, they could layer the backgrounds together because they could do with panels and things. It's all very interesting what they used to do to make all this stuff work. You would just think it wouldn't be that, the system would just work, but they were working with some really, difficult restraints to make all of these little cartoony games for people. It's amazing. I mean, these days I think we take it for granted. If you look at that Krieger and what they managed to do with I don't know, 600K of memory, and they make this amazing first-person shooter game and stuff because they did all these tricks to make it work. Fuck you, frog. My God, there's more of this. See, this is another one of these games that's it's all about the patterns. It's if you just memorize the patterns, you'll advance and stuff as long as you don't make any mistakes. I don't get into that kind of thing. Anyway, so the Nintendo Entertainment System NES Classic Edition. It's a fun little system. It's cheap. You can't get them anymore. And if you do find one online, they're super expensive. But you might know somebody that has one and isn't playing it anymore. You can always grab one. Plays okay. I didn't see too much issues with the emulator or anything. You want to go back and play this 8-bit era. This is one way to do it. But as we've seen, there's plenty of Chinese hacks to play most of these games inexpensively as well. So, do it officially or do it unofficially, but whatever, it's out there. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see what we got for tomorrow. Have a good night.